Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I hope you're all having a really good day today. Okay, so if any of you watched my video yesterday, then you saw that I asked you guys to give me each 3 suggestions, either topics that you wanted me to discuss or questions that you wanted me to answer. I got a lot of really good ones, so I'm going to answer as many of them as I can in this video, but there are a couple in particular that I'm going to save for other videos because I think they might be time consuming, and one of them is like a show and tell sort of thing where I want to have the objects ready, and I don't have anything ready right now. I just have me and the camera and my phone with the questions on it. So I'm going to start with the person who commented first, and that is sparklebizkit. She asked me 3 separate things, and like I said, 2 of them are ones I'm saving for later. A, because I think they'll take up more time, and B, because if I use up everything you guys suggested to me right now, I won't have anything to film for another day. And the whole point of this was to have like a backlog of topics for other times, other videos, and I really hope this is angled correctly, because I checked it earlier, but you know, anyway, blah. You guys actually probably would have gotten a big kick out of me. I should have just saved the footage, but I deleted it when I was testing my camera to make sure I was aligned and make sure I was in frame and like whatever. I would turn it on and be like, buzzinga, and then I turned it off, and I did it again and again to like kind of psych myself up to get into the mood to film this. And I was thinking I should have saved the footage and put it at the end of this video, and I deleted it because I was like, that's too embarrassing, but then I just told you about it, so I really should have saved it. Anyway, I just had tea and it was like herbal tea. I don't know why I'm so peppy right now, but we'll just roll with it since I'm excited to film this video apparently. Okay, so as far as sparklebizkit's questions, like I said, she had 3 different topics. How many times am I going to tell you guys that? The first thing, or the only thing that I'm going to discuss of what she asked me today is, if you could go back in time and live in a different era, which would you choose and why? I have mixed feelings about this. I'm really happy to have, like, penicillin and antibiotics. I'm really happy that we have surgery, modern medicine. I'm really happy that we have glasses that are ready in an hour, or contact lenses for those who are inclined to wear them. And YouTube, the internet. If we didn't have Wi-Fi and iPhones and all of that, I would really be bummed. So I'm kind of okay with living it right now. But if I could go, or had to go back in time and live in a different era, I could see myself living in the Victorian era. I really loved their clothes, and they were starting to modernize. It wasn't, you know, really completely, oh, my phone's, okay. It wasn't like completely primitive, I guess I should say. They had some modern conveniences, so that would have been alright. I probably also could have been okay with living, like, doing the whole Oregon Trail thing through the West. I mean, I know I'm super early and like wear a ton of makeup and like do my nails all the time, but I could get down with being a pioneer woman. I feel like those people definitely had a purpose. They had to survive. They had to do these things to live. And we take everything for granted now because it's just given to us and we don't have to like strive for basic, most of us anyway. You know, those of us that can afford computers and Wi-Fi aren't struggling. And so to have to struggle for your own existence, I think would be a really humbling thing, and I think it would probably be good for the soul to at least experience it. So, I mean, I don't know, I guess if I had to go back, I would go back to any time. It would be interesting to experience anything that was different than what now is, but I would probably pick Victorian era because they had pretty dresses, which is the girliest of all reasons. But anyway, I'm going to save her other 2 questions for another day because how many times am I going to say that? This is what I'm going to do. Because I'm excited to film them too, I guess, so, okay, I'm sorry guys, this is calming and cleansing. I'm just really excited, this is a fun video, I'm so stoked on the interactiveness. Okay, and then my friend iamhappytobemyself asked me 3 questions, and his first question was, have I read much of Shakespeare's works, and if I did read them, what do I think of the possibility that Shakespeare didn't write them himself? Now, I kind of have a long answer for that one too. I'm not a huge Shakespeare fan. I'm not really attracted to things that are written in Shakespearean language. I don't like reading plays as much as I like reading novels. And I just kind of find Shakespeare tedious. As far as the conspiracy theory that he did not actually author all, if any, of his work, or that if Shakespeare was a pseudonym for someone else, or if there were multiple people publishing under that name. I've heard a few different theories. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar enough with his body of work, although having worked at Borders, I mean, it was being assigned for school all the time, so I've seen all of them there. I'm not going to start listing them for you. I'll spare you guys that. It'll be all like Bubba Gump with the whole fried shrimp, Cajun shrimp. I'm doing it anyway, right? Anyhow, I don't know what I think about Shakespeare other than I find his work tedious. However, I do enjoy movies that are modernized versions of his work. And by that, excuse me, it's like dust on my nose. By that I don't mean like the Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, because that's still speaking in Shakespearean language. I don't like that. 10 Things I Hate About You, that's based on The Taming of the Shrew. I love that movie. I adore it. I'm kind of into 90s corny teen movies because I was a corny teen in the 90s. I also really liked West Side Story, even though I didn't think I liked musicals. Apparently, I guess I kind of do. And that's based on Romeo and Juliet, although, of course, I don't really like the ending, which I won't spoil for the 2 people in the world that haven't seen it. So that's the first question. And then the second question was, what dream careers did I have planned growing up? When I was very, very young, I wanted to be a pediatrician. I was going to go to UCLA med school, and I was going to take care of sick kids. As I got older, my dreams changed. I wanted to write for National Geographic, and then I wanted to write for Cosmopolitan. So journalist was a consideration, and then I got really into anthropology. And if I was going to do anything in academia, I would really like to have a doctorate in anthropology. I think that'd be cool, but I don't know how much of a moneymaker it is, but I am fascinated with behavior and human beings and why we do what we do and when we started doing it and what inspired us and all that stuff. So I've always had a passion for anthropology. I guess sometimes feel like I'm still growing up, and right now I have a huge passion for YouTube, so I would say at this point in my life, my dream career would probably be something where I could make videos full-time and earn a living, which I am nowhere near, but I love it just the same. And the third question is, if I won the lottery, would I still continue to work? My answer is, it would depend on what job I had at the time. Right now I'm working for a doctor. I've worked for him off and on for 9 years, and I love him dearly. I love his family dearly. They're like family to me, and I feel like I am contributing something so big to this world by working in his practice, even just as a receptionist, because I don't have any like medical background. But I feel like I'm making such a big contribution by being there, and I'm so proud of being there that if I won the lottery and I was still working at the office, I would continue to do so until the doctor either chose to replace me or chose to retire. If Borders were still open and I were still working there, I would have cut back my hours, but I would have kept the job because I did enjoy it so much until the very end, which you guys started, I mean, probably if you've been watching me for a while, like, you didn't get to see anything much about my store until the very end, so it was all hell, but it was really fun before it completely fell apart around us. So, yeah, I probably would still work if I won the lottery. I feel like working is good for you. I would definitely continue to make videos because, like I said, it doesn't have any monetary gain for me at this point. But I like to contribute. I like to feel useful. And if I weren't working for money, then I'd probably do volunteer work or I don't know what. But I like to keep active, at least mentally stimulated. So I would like to not just sit around and waste the money and be miserable. And then my very good friend nycityshinesbright asked me, if time and money weren't issues, what would you do with life? And she put in parentheses, that can be anything, travel, end world hunger, etc. Your choice. Well, when you put that in parentheses, what am I supposed to say? I mean, if you asked me what would I do with my life if time and money weren't a factor, I think, like, off the top of my head, my first thoughts would be, like, buy a big, beautiful house, get a private plane, get a yacht, get a driver so that I never have to feel like a failure for not having a driver's license ever again. Although I would love to take pilot's lessons and learn how to fly a plane. Is that weird that I'm not like as scared conceptually of flying a plane as I am driving a car? I don't know. But when you ask would I end world hunger or, like, you know, create world peace if I could do anything and time and money were a factor, of course I'd want to make the world a better place. You know, I would probably still like a nice house in this better world that I'm creating. but if I could help everybody out there, I would, and that's a lot of what I feel like well, not help everybody, but that's what I'm trying to do on here, just by, you know, showing you guys this piece of my life and sharing with you, trying to help anybody who feels like me, has ever felt like me, is going through anything I'm going through, so that we can relate to each other and just be stronger people for the fact that we know we have some support out there. So I would love to, you know, I would love to make everyone psychologically well. I would love for everybody to just be better physically and mentally. If I could, like, if I had a wish, that's what I would wish, I guess, even though that wasn't really the question. But that's like magic, you know, to fix everybody. Like, no more sickness, no more, you know, I don't know. I'd rather have everyone healthy than have, I guess that entails not going hungry. Anyway, that would be nice. But I'd also like pretty things, but let's save the world first, and then maybe people will reward me with pretty things for being such a gracious world saver. I sound like a giant ass right now. If you guys are still watching, kudos to you. The next question she asked was, if you could change only one thing about yourself, what would it be? Well, I'd like to have a driver's license. I guess I'd change being scared of driving, if I could change only one thing. Because I can change everything else. I can even get a driver's license without changing the being scared. But if I could change one thing about myself, I would take away my fear of driving, because it has been nothing but a detriment to me, and I hate the fact that I don't want to drive. I'm not okay with it, but it petrifies me, and so at this point, I consider that my biggest flaw, and the thing that's holding me back the most in this world. So I would change that. I would like to not be scared of driving, please. If anyone has any suggestions on that, comment below, or make a video response. And then the last question, I love this one. This one's super fun, and it's a fabulous way to end this video. What would my Patronus be, and why? And if you guys aren't familiar with Harry Potter, then you have no idea. But I'm hoping that most of you are familiar with Harry Potter, and if you are, you know that the Patronus is the, like, spirit animal that you summon from the tip of your wand to protect you from the Dementors, or things of that nature, when evil is about, I guess. I guess my Patronus would probably be a tabby cat that looked just like Fred, because whenever I think Expecto Patronum in my head, I just see him with glowing eyes. But I'm not 100% on that, but I'm thinking my Patronus would be a tabby cat. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you very much to sparklebizkit, I'm Happy to Be Myself, and nycityshinesbright for submitting questions. I asked the same questions on a couple other forums. I asked on my Instagram, and I asked my friends on Facebook, so hopefully I will have some more topics to discuss with you guys soon. This is kind of a really, really random tag video, and maybe I'll even turn it into one. I'll type the questions in the description box for you guys, so you can make me a video response, or leave a comment below answering all of these questions for yourselves, because I would love to hear what you guys think about all of these things. And as far as specific people, I tag KariTribble, nycityshinesbright, sparklebizkit, I Am Happy to Be Myself, Puppy Lion, IndependentJenn, satelliteofpwn, and I'm Feeling Froggy-ish. And hopefully I'll remember all of them and put their names in the description box. And, oh, I tag BalmaholicTV. I'm going to send you a private message, because I don't know if you'll see this otherwise, but I totally tag you. And I hope you do this video, because it would be so much fun to watch, because it's so random, and it's so different from any other tag that I've ever seen. So I have to think of a good name for it. I have to count how many questions I answered. But yeah. So please, 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 please do this video if I tagged you, and if I didn't say you specifically by name, I tag you anyway if you're watching this, because this is a fun video, and it's like the most random tag I've ever thought of, or seen, or heard of, or whatever, you know. I didn't make it up. I'm gonna go before I annoy you guys as much as I am tweaking myself out in my head right now, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a really, really, really good Wednesday. I love you, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.